Right. Whew. It is Sunday evening, and it is time to go to a little world called Ixodel, where there was a explosion many years ago, where the rock fell upon it, and join our new hapless adventurers as they traverse it in hopes of finding a new place to be, perhaps a little bit to carve out on their own, to call their own, and fight against the approaching darkness that's in everyone's soul. But this is GM Balo, and we welcome you to this fun setting that we've created and having fun playing The Rock, created by myself, co-designed by Jonathan Mendez. And we will be working on this, and we're playing with our amazing players as we explore different places and create much of the history of this world together, which is super exciting. And if you're at all interested in getting in on some of this, we do have a Saturday game that is still accepting a few more players if you want to join in. They're in a different area of the rock, and so a whole different type of history and culture that you can be a part of making in this world. And if you so do, let's see here. The music you're going to hear is licensed through Epidemic Sound, which is a really great thing that you can do for free or pay for a license depending on your usage. And also, today, you can go ahead and give some good old inspiration to our friends via our Twitch chat and do treasure boosts. And as I state weekly on this one, treasure boosts are a bit different, but they will always help our players in some way or fashion. So, in the Darkness Cave, where some mutant creatures asked you to go on and take care of a menace that had been threatening them, our brave crew had traversed deep and found some strange, best can be described to as amorphous blobs being radiated within cages of copper and white cenarium. This seemed to produce offspring of a sorts that moved in about the rocks and gravel under these cages and created all types of, most could say, unnatural occurrences. However, they fought hard, nearly died several times, both to these creatures and their own lack of jumping ability. But so far, are still in one piece, mostly. So, we find, at this point, 5 of them who had traversed in, while 2 had mostly stayed back, but are around. What would y'all like to do?
Are we back up to surface?
I am totally good with that. You push up into the sunlight, bloodied, icky as all heck from various oozes and goos. And as you do, make and break through the surface, you see the huddled masses of these creatures you decided to help as they look at you, willing to show themselves. And they are they have the full bodies of rabbits except their front paws, which are large, muscular, more humanoid arms. They seem to dig and move about and looks at you and nods, seeing you discuss himself, and they begin to take their arms and link and kind of form ropes that you can climb up their arms and shoulders on to more easily aid you and begin lifting you up. And you break fully into the brightness of the sun. And as you do, you begin to hear the hum of the rock again. And it is different. Before it almost is background noise, nearly static. But now there's notes. It's something one could almost harmonize with. Whatever absorption and exposure occurred to those refined and very well sculpted crystals. It's not only changed you on the inside, but somehow changed your relationship to the rock song. So, you're up top, you have your jacked rabbit allies and your caravan that you've been protecting the best you could. What'd you like to do?
Who has been kind of in charge of getting us to the town?
So you were given instructions on essentially how to get there, and the people kind of seem to organize it from the various places you came from. Didn't really come on the trip, so the actual expedition, the people who are like navigating the most, are a man and a woman, and they go by the names of Captain Josiah, and the other one simply likes to be referred to as Miss Fee.
Okay. I would approach whichever one I can get to faster.
Okay. So generally speaking, Captain Josiah tends to be more concerned with like direction and navigation, and Miss Fee tends to be more of like risk management and also like making sure everybody in generally is healthy, more of the logistics of the move, I would say.
Okay. So I would approach Miss Fee.
Yeah.
Miss Fee.
Yes, darling.
My dress got completely ruined on that little expedition down through the cavern.
Oh my. Well, I suppose a sacrifice for the cause, I guess. Let me see. She kind of takes a look. Because, well, I mean, do you have any others that you brought with you?
Well, of course. I was just going to get changed, and then I thought I would bring it to you. You could have one of your girls clean it and just return it back to me. That would be just fine.
Miss Gabby, you may go ahead and ask anyone if they seem to have the skills to do that. I am not your maid or nor your housekeeper. But if you would like to make friends and help others in a way, I'm sure with what you have done, if you ask nicely and don't expect anything, but simply wonder if it could be done for you, they would love to repay it. This will be a good exercise for you. Get you more used to places like this versus where I know you came from.
I think we understand each other.
She nods.
So I can bring this back to you and you'll have it cleaned, right?
No,
I
my
mean,
darling.
please.
You may go ask somebody else to your heart's desire.
Okay.
Arya's just gonna go up to Jara Mr. Jara. I think we fixed. I am almost 100% positive your problem has been taken care of.
Yes, well, they've been, and who's going Jara seems to be the leader of the Jackrabbits. And we don't smell that anymore.
Okay.
So we are mighty pleased, you have. And gives us a whistle, and you see, for the most part, they walk around on their arms, and they carry their little bodies in between them.
You're so cute.
And they begin to go around and start to fix some of the wagon issues. We'll help with repairs. And the agreement was to help you get there safely, yes?
Yes, that is correct. We do appreciate your time and help. We really do.
We appreciate yours. It's already proven more trustworthy than others.
Yeah.
We would love to keep this up.
Sorry, what day is today? Oh, it's the 9th. Oops. I'm sorry, it's my sister's birthday. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
For a second, I thought that was a Saturday night question. Like, what date is it in the game?
Yeah,
To track that.
Wait, what? What's going on?
There's like a million October birthdays in my family. I'm sorry. Oh, but yeah, okay. I'm so sorry.
All right, let's refocus here, folks.
I am so sorry. ADD moment. I am so sorry.
It's all good.
It's fine.
Do you need to take a few minutes to do anything?
I just need to like contact her and tell her happy birthday.
Of course. Yes. Feel free to do so. All right. Any other interactions you want to get moving here?
Real quick, after overhearing Miss Gabby Rouse talking to Miss Fee, he'll go over and be like, can I see your dress right there real quick?
While I'm still wearing it?
Yeah, yay.
Okay.
I want, and he's gonna reach up, and he's wearing a coat, but it's got like a bunch of patches on it. He reaches up, rips one off, and he lays it over your dress. He casts mending on it as the patch disappears into it, and it's fixed. And then a new patch pops up on his jacket.
Very nice.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Ogie.
Not a problem, and just Ogie's fine.
Very well.
And then Ogie's gonna go around and he'll cast mending on parts of the thing, and he always grabs something and places on it, and then it kind of goes in, like he's grabbing sticks off the ground and putting them on there, and it just magically becomes other wood.
Yeah. Yeah, I think here the scenarium sort of like moves forward, and it hums as you do this, and kind of change its composition to match the composition and color of what you're working on. And it is a minute, so just take a moment. This is like a good time of just like kind of focusing as the material you have on top slowly becomes the material that you're attempting to fix.
How long did it take us to clear out the caves to get rid of those things?
I don't believe you short rested, so I believe it was a good about 20 minutes.
20 minutes to get through the whole cave system and clear it out? That's it? Oh wow. Okay.
These aren't Grim Hollow dungeons that we're going through at this point.
That's true. Do we need to? I'm gonna look at everybody. Do we want to stay here until morning, or do we want to continue on for a bit and then make camp?
We can rest here.
Wouldn't that be up to the people in charge of the caravan?
Oh, that's true. Hey, Miss B! Captain Josiah!
I think with this, kind of Josiah will go, well, yes, Miss Aria, how can I help you?
What do you want to do? Do you want to stay here for the night, for the rest of the day, and in the evening, and just leave in the morning, or do you want to keep heading?
Quite honestly, that will be up to all of you. I will defer to you since you have been our protection up until this point. You were able to get us away from those rather frightening wolves before and have secured us more guardians and who know their way better around than this is a map that did not show me any of this. So what will make all of you feel better and more apt to keep us all alive, I am quite excited to endeavor upon.
Yeah. I at least want to relax for at least an hour.
Well, it'll take a little bit to make the repairs at the very least. I think that sounds just fine. Then at the hour, should we get moving?
What do you guys think?
Yeah, just have a grab you out. And I think with this, we'll go, and let's make sure we get the other two who made sure that we did not get attacked while you all were taking care of business. As he yells for Morgan and is that
Martha? May.
Martha, and goes, Morgan, Martha, come over here. We got things to discuss. And why don't you introduce your characters? We'll probably do a full introduction so everyone can get a good idea of what they're looking at. So let's start with Martha, then go to Matthias, then go to Morgan, then Miss Gabby, and so on, please.
Okay. As Martha approaches, it's very obvious to see her. She is nearly 7 feet tall and built rather large. She has what is common in this world considered mutations. She has a very wide, flat nose, dark hair that's braided, and is just very, sort of looks down as she's walking. So far has been very quiet in your interactions with her on this journey so far.
Oh, good.
Matthias is wearing just simple clothes. He carries a staff that, if you look closely, you can see seams running along it. Dark, almost maroon or black skin. He's got cracks that range from bright yellow to any form of darker red or orange color running along his body. His hair is also fire. And yeah, that is Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan is a little lanky. She's a little over 6 feet tall. Certainly not as tall as Martha by any means, but tall. She's got a leather jacket. Is geared, knowing that this is going to be a trek through the rough. She does have sort of prominently and easily reachable a dagger in a sheath. cenarium down the spine of the blade. Red hair. It gives the appearance of, at the same time, like she was raised in a place where she was supposed to be civilized, but also she's really, really mad and will happily take that anger out on somebody.
Gabby is a young woman, blonde hair, wears very expensive looking clothing, lots of jewelry, tends to fidget a lot with a deck of cards, and when she's not playing cards, she's probably doing trick shots with her sidearm. And yeah, just probably sticks out a little bit based on the way she dresses and carries herself, but otherwise has proven herself a good member of the group.
Arya is tiefling, pink skin, pale pink skin, dark purple hair, violet eyes. Typical saloon girl. With a brain died. I'm sorry. Lute. That's what it's called. A lute strapped to her back. Doesn't mind saying what's on her mind. She'll tell you flat out how it is. Won't sugarcoat it most of the time. No filter, pretty much.
And you probably see Lady Silver. First thing you'll see is her body as it moves up, as you hear gears and turning, as you see this clockwork horse-like body, and then you look up and pan up, and then you see her human form with her hair, brown, green eyes. She's wearing a red poncho, carries a big old sword on her back, has this 10-gallon bucket hat, and she's always, when people catch her, she's always either tinkering on herself or she's looking at a picture of her boy. And she's trying to guide this caravan, and she's looking for this new place as a home.
Ogie is black fur with, but as kind of the sun catches it, you'll notice at times it kind of seems to have either blue or white or just various colors, kind of dependent on how the sun's hitting edges of himself. He's got a bowler hat with his ears poking out, dusty, just looks like it's seen way too many it's seen way too much use jacket with patches kind of all over it. On his chest, he's got strapped what appears to be some sort of spike or dagger. You can't see the blade at the moment. It's kind of got this weird looking handle with almost no hilt to it. Got a couple of big hunting knives strapped to his waist and a big old longbow kind of strapped to a quiver along his back. And he looks like he's only about 5 foot tall most of the time. But it does look like if he were to actually fully stand up to his full height, he'd probably be a lot closer to 6 foot.
Nice. Well, seems time that we all need to be deciding if we are resting for the evening or going forward. And at this point, they've called forth Jariah, who the large jacked rabbit comes over and goes, "Of course, we need helping us, and your guidance would be quite appreciated. So, believe petition has been made for us to rest at least an hour here. And how would you all like to proceed from there?
Also, I'm pretty sure we got a short rest in while we were down there.
No, we didn't. Oh yeah, we did. We did.
They
get a
did, I
short
didn't.
rest. Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Gabby was unconscious until
Yes,
I
mine
used
was
it.
still
very
That's
injured.
right.
Cool.
That
Thank you
is
for thank you
correct.
for remembering that. So you were down there for about an hour and a half then.
An hour and a half.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, we've got, by the looks of it, plenty of daytime to take advantage of in travel. Am I correct in that assumption?
yeah, you got a good few hours.
A little bit of rest and recuperation might be nice for the folks that went down there, and we certainly need to repair some of these wheels and axles. But I think we could certainly get some miles down the road.
Well, if you're all traveling today, your Jackrabbit friend says, I need y'all to tell me which of some interesting choices you'd like to go from the map that Josiah has shown me here. With the our best ways would be through either a place we call the Toothy Crags. It's rocky. It would be very slow moving with your wagons. And creatures there, frankly, made mostly up out of teeth, have been sighted most recently. Besides that, there is a vast series of mines and settlements called the Winding Diggers. They keep to themselves and don't seem to appreciate any life, even sentient, other than their own. So making it through their territory, we'll best be ready to defend ourselves. Then, on the other side of that is Miracle Lake, guarded mostly by those folks. Though it's fairly, we make our way there often enough to steal water, so we know our ways. And then, of course, if we want to avoid all that, there is the Crawling Underpath. It's miles of dark tunnel. We haven't encountered anything, but we move silent and with only few of us at a time, and we hear things moving in the dark. It's up to you.
Okay, so our choices are something with teeth? Creatures
Yeah.
with teeth?
Yes, mostly teeth.
Mostly teeth. Underground tunnels with groups of the Winding Diggers. The group's called the Winding Diggers? Or
Yeah.
is that what I'm... Okay.
It would be various settlements and mining operations that they just call the Winding Diggers.
Okay.
And so just very territorial folks.
Crawling underpath with very... I don't want to split us up. I don't think that one it would be a good choice. In Miracle Lake.
Yeah. So you would say the Crawling Underpath is is you could travel the quickest with your wagon as far as like things they think would get in the way. But there's things they don't know about that they've not seen but only heard.
Gotcha.
And the Toothy Craigs would be the slowest because it would be very windy, based on the fact that you couldn't that most of the terrain is made to break your wagon, so that running would not be an option anywhere in there. You could just not move fast without everything just totally collapsing on you.
And the Miracle Lake has some of the same territorial folks, but it's not as confined as the narrow mining tunnels.
Right, and the winding diggers aren't tunnels. It's just a bunch of settlements here and there. You never know what you're. It changes enough where they don't have a good idea of who's where.
But they know mostly Miracle Lake area.
Yeah, Miracle Lake, basically, there would be guards there that might be run into, but it's not like it's not armies or large groups of people. There might be a few people protecting it here or there, or contingents of people, basically. So basically, you've got hostile settlements at Carling Underpath, hostile, potentially units in Miracle Lake, and then and the Crawling Underpath and Toothy Craigs, potentially hostile creatures.
Yeah, and we know the Toothy Craigs are creatures with mostly teeth. The Crawling Underpath, we have no clue whatsoever what they would be.
Yeah.
I would like to vote the Winding Diggers on Miracle Lake.
I'm leaning towards Miracle Lake myself.
Me as well. What do the rest of y'all think?
Well, I wouldn't mind checking out this crawling underpath myself. But
You can't see in the dark, sweetheart.
I know, but I didn't come all this way just to talk to people. I came to find out what's out there. But if not there, I wouldn't mind the Winding Diggers.
I think the Wandering Diggers would be best.
Tell you what, Miss Gabby Ross, if you want to explore the Curl Underpath, I'll be happy to go there with you. But part of our job right now is to take care of this caravan, and if we ain't seen what's coming, there ain't no guarantee we can help them. So we can explore our curiosity anytime we want, but let's take what we know and what we can handle for these poor folks in these wagons.
Of course.
Okay, so either Miracle Lake or the Winding Diggers. Winding Diggers will come across settlements. Miracle Lake will come across maybe a few guards here and there.
They're going to consider anybody up there trespassing at Miracle Lake. We might be able to negotiate through the diggers if that's what you guys want to do, though it will be very sketchy.
Seems like the Diggers might be the safest route in that case.
I'm certainly willing to do either.
What do you think, Martha May?
Of the two options, which would be faster for the wagons?
Gyra looks and considers it. Assuming no problems, Miracle Lake, but that's a lot of assuming. If you're looking about pure terrain with no external interference.
I think that maybe that's the better option, but I mean, you've all been here longer, so I don't. Whatever. Yeah.
And I think for now, Miracle Lake is the better option.
All right. Well, since seems we may have consensus, but let's go ahead and vote just the same. And but it seems like you all have explored your options. So I'll go by what you recommend. So I believe we've got Martha May, you've said Miracle Lake. Matthias, I think you've said Miracle Lake, yes?
Yes.
All right. Then Morgan?
I also think we should go to Miracle Lake.
Miss Giveros?
The winding.
Wine and Diggers. Aria?
Miracle Lake.
Lake. And Lady Silver?
I said both, so I'm sticking with either one. 'Cause-
And I'd have preferred the Diggers, but I am not opposed to Miracle Lake.
That sounds like
Well.
Miracle Lake.
Yeah. Well, this guy's just like, well, then I will say Miracle Lake, then is our choice. Though they all sound quite horrifying. So,
That's all right, Captain. That's why you got us.
indeed. Now, so that being decided, anything else we need to know about our chosen course there, Jaira? Kind of thinks my folks and I. So actually, I'll just say, so the mechanics here are going to be what Jaira's going to be able to do for you here, because you've been able to negotiate with him and his people. They can't help you sneak around in Miracle Lake because it's just too wide open for them to be able to do that effectively. However, they essentially can provide either advantage on just like sheer navigation to pick a when it comes to kind of route picking. So whenever you're trying to kind of pick the best way around once you get up there, or they can provide enough cover and their hide so that if you get into trouble, they can provide enough support that will provide you with advantage on any attacks you would end up making there. So essentially it's helpful trying to avoid something, or should you get into trouble, helping survive and get through.
So we need to choose one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so I think with this, if you guys want to talk about above table, that's totally fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just to make a good decision there. Or a decision. I don't know if it was a good one. But that's your decisions.
Who's proficient in survival?
I think Ogie would be
I am
proficient in
as
survival.
I am.
Martha May.
Who's our best survivalist?
Who has the best?
I'm not proficient in survival, but I am proficient in navigator's tools.
Oh,
Which you can
Navigators-
substitute.
yeah.
Navigator's tools is for.
It can be
Because we
used
talked-
for land over travel.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're talking pluses, I've got a +6 to survival.
Same.
Some of you have played with me before and know that that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
We are in the same boat, Bobby. It's okay.
You could have a +15 and you still might fail some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, I'll be totally honest. I'm perfectly fine either way. I think the player in me would love the advantage to our attack rolls, but
Yeah,
But-
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah.
I'm cool either way.
Well, if we have the proficiency, if we have the people who are quote unquote good at survival,
Yeah.
that should help us.
And
I want to say, as a rogue, I'm all about that advantage on attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, because we already have people who are good at the survival part. Why don't we just go ahead and do the attack?
Yeah.
Is just in case.
I like that.
Okay.
Everybody else cool with that?
Yep.
I am.
Yep.
All right, very good. All right, so okay, there's gonna be several chances here. So, after so at this point, then everyone, if you if you would like to take a short rest, you're able to do so during the prep time here.
Maybe we should stay overnight. I have no spells and I have no bardic inspiration.
My
Why don't
health
we
is
start
really
in-
bad.
Why
you
don't we
should have
start in the
gotten.
morning?
Shouldn't you have gotten some spells when you leveled up to 2?
Yeah, I used it on Gabby.
Yeah, and I'm still pretty injured. But I just want to make
That's
sure
what hit
everybody.
dice are for.
The what?
That's what hit dice are for on a short rest.
I haven't had a short rest.
Well, you can have one now.
Well, I'm saying you can take one now if you so
Oh,
desire.
yeah, I definitely do. I
That's
just
what I'm trying
want
to
to make
say.
sure everybody had grabbed all the inspirations because I know we had like 5 in the chat.
We have one
Yes.
left.
Okay.
Okay. But I have no magic and I have no bardic.
Okay.
That's my problem.
Then yeah, let's take the rest.
Let's just stay overnight and then we'll start fresh in the morning. Let everybody just, heal up a little bit from the
Okay.
trauma of almost falling in the
That's fine. This is a dangerous area that you've entered into, and so therefore there are things that can occur. If combat occurs that interrupts a long rest,
Yeah, that's true.
and you lose that because we're playing a little bit more of the standard rules for this, other than Wild Mount. Just keep that in mind, and that's kind of so. I would say. What I would say is, that you'd have to take precautions that probably are more than a watch, right? A watch will keep you from getting surprised. You need to try to keep yourself from being attacked in order to successfully rest here.
Okay.
So that's kind of what you want to think through if that's what you're going to plan.
Well, if we start heading in that direction, how long would it take us to get to the lake?
So you would get to the lake before sunset, and you'd be able to traverse it and try to get to the other side, ideally, is kind of what you're getting. So the way that Gyro was basically saying is, by the end of the day, you'd get to the other side of the lake.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't be resting in the lake. You wouldn't really be down
Yeah.
with that. He wouldn't suggest that. If you want to, I
No.
guess you could.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't suggest that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I think because of the stakes, we might have to just go forward.
Yeah.
With
think
the
so, too.
short rest just for health, but otherwise.
Yeah, short
I
rest
think
isn't going to
you're
cost
right.
you anything. That you can take a short rest. That's not a big deal.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah. Just don't expect any healing from me.
Understood. I'm going to go ahead and use all my hit dice then.
So what I will tell you is a thing that I want to play with in this one and it's optional, so you can either always choose to use it or not. Is that in a pinch where you have no spell slots, you may choose to take on a point of exhaustion per spell slot to give any extra oomph and essentially essentially run scenario and the song through your body at cost to your health.
Okay.
But
Well-
that's totally up to you. It is an option that I'm playing with here.
Are you
Okay.
talking about like self-healing?
No.
Because I don't know if anybody else has any healing spells.
So
I do.
basically, if someone's capable of spellcasting, they have no slots left.
Okay.
In order to cast a first level spell, they could take a point of exhaustion
Okay.
if
So
they're totally out.
if we need a healing word to keep somebody from dying, Arya
have to
could
take
take a
the-
point of exhaustion, but we would not have the person die.
Yeah.
Right.
I also have Spare the Dying. So
Right.
You also have Spare the Dying. Okay, and that's fine because that's a cantrip. We'd just be out somebody for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the only caveat would be that is I like essentially no. Let me do this last spell before we go take a long rest. Like abusive things with it, I guess you could
Gotcha.
say. But as long as it's like essentially, like I'm
Okay.
about to lay down. Let me just do this one last. No, stop it.
All right. Well, I
Martha May
guess.
also has healing.
Oh, does she? Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea here is that we don't have one designated healer. We've got a handful of people that can do
Basically, a bunch of off
a
healers.
little
more or
bit.
less.
Yeah, we've got a bunch
Yeah.
of off healers.
Gotcha. I'm regretting not making that cleric. Okay.
I took a leveling cleric, which I was planning on doing. I just took it a little earlier than I wanted to after that first session. I was like, I feel like getting Spare the Dying now is
Yeah.
more important than, some other things that I would get. So I'm like, I'm going to get that now.
Gotcha.
Do we have any healing kits?
We do have We do have the one that was used on you, which has 9 uses left, I believe.
Okay. Who has it, out of curiosity?
I think Ogie has it.
Okay.
I used it. I don't have it unless you want me to have it.
You have proficiency, right? Or
I
you're
do
really
not.
good at it, at least.
I've got a +4.
Yeah, that's better than me.
Yeah, and healing kit just does an automatic stabilization.
Yeah. So,
We might need that.
well, as long as we know who has it, we can use it.
Maybe give it to Martha because I've got Spare the Dying. So basically, it's just going to be used on me. Otherwise, I can stabilize with a cantrip. It's
That's
just if
fine.
I go down,
Yeah.
somebody else that's at least somewhat good at.
Or you just attach it to the front of your chest, so if you go down, whoever gets to you can pull it off your chest and use it on you.
That too. Let's just, you know what, Martha May, you take it. I have half proficiency with medicine, and that's a +1. So
I have a 6 to medicine.
So
So
okay.
So you're better than me at it.
yeah, there was a thought process behind this particular character. So
Okay, so it's about to tell us that he did a little more medicinal minded.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
and that was before watching last week's episode. So,
All right. So let's finish our little 1 hour rest, and then we'll get heading on.
All right.
Very good. All right, so go ahead and take that short rest. And is there anything anybody wanted to do or prepare?
I want to be adding stuff and kind of editing the map that we have for like us, so that we know where stuff is. I'll be talking to Josiah.
Jara.
Josiah.
Jara.
What's his face? The muscle bunny, and just editing it and kind of making sure we've got all of the things, like, so we'll know where like the path of the Winding Diggers is, know where, kind of updating the map so we've got more things on there if we want to go back in the future.
Yes. He gives what he knows. It is very much like kind of like a here there be dragons type of cartography, and he doesn't know exactly, like, he doesn't, because he doesn't have necessarily it all plotted out. It's more navigating when you get there, but does give you the general areas of where they are. So that's fairly accurate.
Will do. Yeah,
But it's not like, oh, we could follow this map safely through these things. It's not so much that.
Well,
but
yeah,
it
I
is,
just want to know
this is about where
these-
you'd find that.
Yes, I'm looking for landmark kind of things.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I'll worry about accurately mapping them when we get to said locations.
Exactly. So that is.
Gabby will just play solitaire as her light activity.
I'll take you in a hand, Miss Gabby.
Okay. Very cool. Good.
Oh, but now, Miss Gabby, how good are you at dice or three dragon ante?
I only play cards.
Ain't that a shame?
But I'm always
Come on,
willing to
Morgan.
learn.
You could try.
Want to beat Deltan?
Oh, sure, I suppose.
Arya's just prestidigitating herself back into like normal working order. Get the curls back in her hair, clean off her dress and skin of any goop.
Okay. So, it's a good time to check out our gambling system that's in progress.
Ooh.
Perfect.
The in progress, very, very again there. So, the way this will work is there's 3 basic phases to determine kind of essentially who's going to win. The first thing, you just essentially agree on the amount of money at stake. Is the first is kind of that's kind of the pre-step, and then there is an insight check. And since you have 3 players, the way it'll work is the actually let's go through it just live, so to make it the quickest.
Cool.
So the first thing would be how much are we all betting?
Well, since we have beginners at the table, probably not very much, because Gabby would not gamble high against someone if they're learning to play.
Okay. So shall we call it 2 gold each?
That works?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So 6 gold is put into the table. And now everyone may make an insight check as they're dealt their cards.
All right. I got a question. Are we checking for bluffs here?
This is a combination of bluffs and what somebody might be holding. So yes.
Because I'm curious, would that count as someone lying to me in terms of trying to deceive me with what they have? Is really what my question is, because that determines on how I roll my insight.
Gotcha. Yes.
Gotcha. Not good at all.
All right. So what are our numbers?
7.
13.
13.
2 13s?
Yep.
Okay. In that case, what we'll do, we'll say Morgan and Silver, just give me a d6 real quick, each.
2.
1.
Okay. Very good. So in this case, then for point wise, that will put Miss Gabby at a -6. When we determine this, Morgan at a 0, and then we've got Lady Silver at a +1. Kind of by the differences here. So this is as you begin to insight. Essentially, you see Miss Gabby Ross, as much as she seems to be experienced, has gotten quite nervous. Whether it's the fact that she so recently was bleeding out, what her hand is very, very clear. Whether that's good or bad, it gives you insight on how to if you need to pull better cards or not, is the idea here. You're just starting to read her really, really well. Now, the next thing here would be a little different in that this is where you can cheat if you want to. Cheating is sleight of hand. And there is a flat DC per kind of game and situation. In this case, it would be 15. And the thing with cheating is if you're caught, you lose.
Gotcha.
And it just gives you more points to your total if you win, depending on how you roll.
Okay. One thing, does proficiency with the game matter at all?
That's actually a really good point. So here is for cheating in the next phase is where you could sub in that proficiency.
So I would add the proficiency on top of my sleight of hand.
Not on top of, you could do it and opposed to. I'm sorry. If you're proficient in both, you can roll with advantage.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's what that is.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I got nothing to lose.
So that's a 25 on the sleight of hand.
Okay.
$17 for silver.
Okay.
Nope. That's a 15 minus 6, I guess.
No, you don't minus
No.
it off this
Oh,
roll. This is a check.
Gotcha.
Okay. And 15's a success, period.
Oh,
You
that's
don't-
right. That's right.
You don't minus off of that
It's just
yet.
adding to our, that's your points. That you
That's
can gain.
points, not your
Gotcha. Okay.
modifiers.
I think I get it.
Okay. Very cool. All right.
Just rolling garbage today.
Very cool. So in that case, right now, you said it's what was that, 25? 25. Okay, very cool. In that case, Paul, you may roll 3d6, and Miss Gabby and Lady Silver, you may each roll 1d6.
Four.
Four.
Silver.
14.
Oof. Okay. And the very last is simply the luck of the draw. And this is simply represented by a d20 roll. And if you do have proficiency, you do get an advantage on the d20 roll. If you have it with the game.
Gotcha.
That is a 9.
That's a nat 20.
That's a 12.
Okay. Yeah, so ultimately that is 14 for silver, that is 10 for Gabby Ross, and that is 34 for Morgan Ryder. In this beginner's game, beginner's luck, one could say, maybe, who knows, that we go through. So they would get the 6 gold.
All right.
Well, Miss Morgan, looks like you had better luck than most of us at this game.
Oh, dear. I just must have gotten lucky. Beginner's luck, as they say.
Mhm.
We'd like to go again, then.
I appreciate the lesson. Let me spend some time on my own, see if I can.
Oh,
Learn
you're not
this a
going to
little
deny
bit
someone the right to earn their money back, are you now, Miss Morgan?
Oh, I
I think-
suppose that's fair. I suppose
Oh, ladies,
that's fair.
ladies. I think it's time we should get going.
Oh, it's just etiquette at the game table is all.
You can start back up when we stop for the evening. How about that?
Well, I suppose that's up to Miss Morgan.
Well, Miss Gabby Ross, I would hate to slat you in any way. If you want this match now, we can do this match now. You just got to tell Arya.
All right, Arya, we've got one more game.
3 all this time.
All right. Quick, so we'll do insight check.
Is this going to be another Sunday where I do nothing but sigh?
I
Oh.
mean, 19.
18.
$18.
Okay. 18.
Out of curiosity, how does deception come into a game like this?
I would say I can work on that some more. This is, like I said, this is my progress alpha,
Gotcha.
how this might work. So that's just.
'Cause, I mean, I think several of us here have deception in this as well.
Exactly.
Yes. And I think this is just the initial draft, right? So, who got the 19 again?
I did.
Okay, cool. Perfect. In that case, so the 18s, then I need those D6s to break it up.
6.
Miss Gabby?
For what?
Because you both wrote 18s, I just need you
Oh,
to do a D6.
I misunderstood.
Okay.
That's a 3.
It's 3. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So therefore that puts Morgan at a +1, puts Silver at a 0, and Miss Gabby at a -3. So far. This is much better. Closer game already. If you would like to cheat, go ahead and make the check.
We haven't even andied up.
Sorry, yeah, what did you... Thank you. How much is the bet here?
I would
3
say
gold.
I'd
Three
say
gold
double
apiece?
it. We'd go up to 4 by this point.
Okay.
All right, sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 12 gold is at the table. Thank you. Cool. Thank you for that. So I'm a little rushing because I just want to make sure everyone doesn't just sit and want to play cards. But I like it. So then, then if you want to cheat, go ahead and make your sleight of
Alright.
hands.
Silverfield
26.
Hurst.
Okay.
It's a 24.
And then what did Morgan get?
26.
26. Okay. Then Silver, you failed. So essentially, here's where you can play this anywhere you want, where the cards kind of spill. I think in this thing it's funny because all of you are cheating.
Yes.
And just you
I'm on
caught
top.
Silver.
How
Card
dare you,
slips out of
Lady
her
Silver?
That's
Lady Silver!
That's how you
don't
play
know.
cards?
I don't know how that got there.
All right. So in this case, y'all can push Lady Silver out of the game.
Yeah, she's out.
Yeah.
Take my exit. I'm sorry, y'all.
All right. In that case, Morgan, you can do 3d6. Miss Gabby, you get 2d6 for your cheat.
15.
And there is no advantage on this, correct?
Correct. You had that on your other roll.
Cool. 8.
8. Okay. However, since the person above you gets in there, your -3 does get deleted since you were tied. So you're 0 and +1 essentially from the other one. And so now would come the d20, and proficiency in the game means advantage on this roll.
14.
18.
Ooh.
No, it's a 12.
The what?
You rolled 2d20 and
Oh, I'm sorry. I rolled the
D&D
wrong
Beyond
thing.
automatically adds them. You have to look at
You're
the
right.
thing.
I
It's
don't
like,
know why
hey,
I'm
now.
looking at that. That is a 12.
You're trying to double cheat is what you're trying to do.
All right,
No,
so
that's
that would bring Miss Morgan to a 30 and Miss Gabby Ross to a 20. So you wouldn't be able to win. All right, so already I'm putting notes on deception possibly as another mechanic. And I'm trying to keep it so it's somewhat quick for situations like this. So,
All right.
Hey, I got a question.
yes.
Because it's rolling dice and everything. Could you, like, cutting words or what's the other one?
Oh, cutting words and stuff. Oh, jeez. We'll get into that. So,
Curious.
Could I cast guidance on some of them?
Like, yeah, like, does that
for the checks, yeah, actually. But anyway, so Miss Morgan comes away a winner once more. adding 12 gold. So they are up, I believe that is 16 gold total.
Well done, Miss Morgan.
No, I'm only up 12 because it's 16 minus what I put into the pot. So
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fine. You essentially put in 2 and you've walked away with 18 total. So I believe you're up 16.
You put in 4 on that hand.
I put
Between
in
the two hands.
That's 6.
Is what I was
Yeah,
calculating.
between the two hands, I put in 6, 1 18, so total net of 12.
Correct.
Yeah, my
Hard.
That's correct.
math is hard. Okay.
If he was, taking out what he already put in. Then
Yeah,
you would
no,
know
so I'm good. I did the math. We're good.
All right. Are we ready to go now, ladies?
Of course. We've been ready for a while.
I'm sure.
During this card game, Martha was going around to the folks that we are trying to transport, making sure they had water, had snacked, got themselves ready to move on. Help
Absolutely.
pack
Go
cards
ahead and
or-
give me a medicine check.
22.
22. Okay. Yeah, I think as you go about that, you are able to properly give them water and food, and just kind of like how it's better stacked, and get them to properly rest during this time. I think people who have any aches or pains are feeling a little more tired, and so what we'll do, I'm going to mark that, and it depends what happens. That may or may not come into play depending what goes on. And I'll let you know if it does, but that definitely has potential to help. Anything else that was just during the hour? Now, again, this would be light activity if you're trying to take a short rest. But anything else? Okay. So, in that case,
One other thing to note is you have seen a tuxedo cat following Martha May around.
Oh.
That's adorable.
Okay. Arya is super tempted to pick it up, but she don't know if that would be proper. So, let's go. Let's go.
Does it have a name?
It's Bandit.
Bandit.
A lovely name.
Let's go.
all right. So,
Just
all right. So, yep.
Just some above the table talk, guys. Since we're doing this, I just changed my trance. So the next time I long rest, I'm now actually going to be proficient in playing cards.
No, God. I love being an elf. I'm sad I didn't choose elf.
That's true. So it can work out, yeah. Okay. And obviously, like I said, that system may adjust. I feel like I need to play with it a lot to get it to something that works. However, so you begin to go forth. The wagons are rusted up, repaired, between Ogie's help and the help of Joser and his kin. Have a good thing. They seem to travel mostly underground, burrowing, and they, though Adressa will be up with all of you. Now, he's given some direction as far as where you're going, so you know how to get to the lake. This piece, and because they're really just providing cover and support, like you chose, then this would be the person who is leading kind of the cruise. This would be a survival check.
So I will help whoever is making the check since I'm proficient in navigator's tools. So I'd like to provide the help action for the survival check.
So you may do this. The only thing is that as kind of this whole travel around the lake is, obviously if there's combat, there's combat, but for anything other than that, once someone uses kind of what they can do for this, that they're using it for kind of that trek. So if you are helping, that's fine. That just is two people's abilities that are being kind of wound up in that at once, if that makes sense.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So would like to...
Can I also cast guidance on myself when I do this?
Sure.
Sweet.
So which of you guys has the better survival check?
It's the same.
Okay.
It's a D4, right? Yeah. Uh, 29.
Okay. So not 30, too bad. And
One away.
The only way I could have gotten to 30 is with a nat 20.
yeah,
One away.
no, that's fine. That is really stinking good. So then just give me, so essentially how this is working is, because this is a highly visible trek that you chose, there was a number of encounters you could get into. Even with the 29, you will have like one essentially D6 here. So roll a D6. Ogie.
Yeah. Five.
Okay. Very good. Now, you move yourselves up into a high area. It actually, the rockiness of it overlooks all the rest. Farther to the east, maybe a few more days travel, you do, even from here, can see a village. It seems to sit upon a plateau itself. You've heard enough about where you're going to know that must be it. Set far off in the distance. Here, as you begin just getting on the outcroppings, you see a body of water at least 3,000 feet across. It's massive and nearly crystal clear. Still stay some ways away from it, getting around the edges. As Jaya keeps going, be careful. A little more touchy the closer you get. And keep your eyes out. And Ogie, you see telltale signs of landscape that's not quite natural. You see where stuff has been changed, built up. In your treks, you've seen people who can sing and harmonize with the rock song to change the surface of the rock, make it easier for hiding and for scouting. And you've learned to tell the difference between that and the random natural formations that Cenarium can cause on the surface. And you spite several naturals, and you avoid them. And don't even come close to intersecting or getting noticed. And because you're able to see far and plot this out, you move rather quickly through them, taking wide when you need to, and even get a little closer to the lake than Dracere is comfortable with. But keep everybody quiet. Now, on your movements, you do see below on the surface of where you're going, far down, the cropping of the telltale small vibrations on the water. And you follow with your eyes those vibrations down to the bottom of this lake, as they call it. And you can see, even from up here, what looks like rather substantial deposits of Cenarium underneath the water. This is highly valuable and highly useful. A great resource. Also, you can surmise that this water, if it's healthy and good, and by the way, it's protected, and from time to say that the people drink it, it's relatively safe. It also means that it would be useful beyond simply water. It would have extra to it. So the question is, do you want to do any type of risk to get water at this point, where you've been undetected on this track? Or even more risk, go diving for Cenarium.
How are we doing on water as it is? Do we have enough to get us through the rest of the trip?
With your other checks, you did not get. You almost lost your water cart, but you were able to save it in the last encounter.
I will for sure mark this specific location on my map for possible future use if we want to do that. Otherwise, I'm gonna let it be a vote to the group.
Well, how far away from the lake are we?
I mean, you're close enough to be able to see this. You're probably a good 500 feet.
Maybe getting a little bit of that water. I mean, we could go a little bit closer and I could use my mage hand to get water. But I ain't jumping in that lake just yet.
I mean, I think it'd be best for us to get these folks to the settlement first. And like I said, I got it marked on. I got it marked on the map. We can come back and at a later time, perhaps tomorrow even, assuming we can get there tonight.
You won't get to the settlement tonight.
Okay, well then maybe
Just
in a
get
couple
past the
days.
lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, that's fine with me then. Anybody else have any suggestions?
This
Like
group.
comments,
Yeah.
concerns, anything?
Yeah, I would say a big piece of the rock here is where people do say what they want to do, especially in character. Let it kind of ride, and characters owing something to the group due to a bad decision or be more trusted is kind of part of the game, part of the scenario, right? So don't play into it, have fun.
We have our water card. While the scenarium is obviously valuable, it's something we can come back for. There's no reason to risk these gentle folk.
But we do need the water.
We have
No.
we have water. We have
We've-
enough water.
We managed
we
to
saved-
save the water cart.
Yeah,
We're good.
we don't need water right now. It's more if we wanted to get water, say just for the fact that it is probably special water, it might give us something. We could do that, but I don't think right now.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it.
Yeah, it would be a risk because it's very possible there's some unsavory folk or creature down there.
And
When all we're putting at risk is ourselves, I think we can come back. But right now, our primary responsibility is making sure this caravan gets where it's going in one piece.
that's
I do
true.
agree with that.
Do you have any thoughts, Martha May, Miss Gabby Rouse, Lady Silver?
Well, I think that the rock is a risk, and everything we do is a risk. So we're already risking. So here, but
Yeah, and we can come
the
back
point
when
about
we
getting
are.
people back to the settlers to the town and come back. We could, but I'm okay either way.
Miss Gabby and Silver.
You've all told me the reason we were coming out this way was to avoid risk, so I don't even say why we're talking about it. Let's just get to the town.
I agree.
All right.
All
Let's go.
right. And if we want to come back in the future, I got it right here on my map.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I'll say with that, you have very good directions here, and you're able to chart out the precise topography and notes on it, so that should you come back, you have advantage on deciding if anything has changed, essentially. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Dope.
So we'll call that, you want to make note of this, familiarity with Miracle Lake. All right. In that case, being very cautious, you just pass it just fine. And though you do see the occasional watch guard, and really just shadows, you can't even make out the general form. They do at least have 2 legs and 2 arms and walk upright. Can't make out too much more about these guards of the Wanding Diggers. And then you begin to crest down off this plateau and back down to relative safety as it gets to be night. Josera and his friends and kin leads you to a small cavernous area where, quite safely, you can take a long rest.
Okay, I've got a question.
Yes.
Is Jara is the jacked rabbit, and
Yes.
Josiah is the Captain Josiah, right?
Yes, Captain Josiah and
Okay.
Jara.
Okay.
I apologize for that.
I'm sorry.
No,
was
'cause
just,
it is-
I got
yeah.
so confused there for
Yeah.
a second. All right.
Now, Miss Gabby, since you were so generous and kind as to teach me how to play cards, would you be interested in learning how to play some Three Dragon Ante?
Well, I don't see why not.
Would anybody else like Delta in?
You know what? Sure, why not?
I will play around.
No thanks. I'm gonna go help prepare dinner.
Ogie's sitting like he has actually been the entire time on top of one of the covered wagons. He's just sitting up there, curling up.
So, again, out of the same respect you showed me, Miss Gabby, we'll keep the starting pool a little small since some of y'all don't know all the rules. 2 gold each.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a perception check.
Okay, go ahead.
It's an 18. I'm kind of looking around the camp here. Does anyone look nervous?
There are various people who've kind of gotten low, and they are down. Most are in their wagons, or in some wagons. There are a good amount of tents. There is it's kind of a buzz of nervousness. That's the general demeanor. Is just generally nervous, scared of what's going on. Things seem to be becoming more real for everybody. As you know, the first leg of your journey was actually very easy, and suddenly this is like they're beginning to really taste what they've gotten themselves into, and knowing there's really no way back.
How does Martha May look?
Or you kind of look in the party, yeah.
So Martha seems a little bit more comfortable now that she's helping with preparing the meal. It seems like an area where she is comfortable. She's never, I don't think that she's ever seemed nervous, just quiet and like uncomfortable around people, like new people.
Tell you what, I'll learn some other day. You all have some fun. Gabby will leave this area. She'll head toward Martha, but I'll stop it there.
Okay. All right. So I was looking at some simplified rules for 3 Dragon Ante. If y'all want to play, or do you just want to RP that you played? How do you want to do this?
We can just RP that we played. We don't need to. And we'll leave goal totals the same. We'll just RP that we played.
Okay. So yeah, just it was unless you want to. Well, I'm saying
No,
this.
it's fine.
So of course, I was not making this decision. It was for everybody. What do y'all want to do?
It's fine. I'll play one game and then I'll go curl up and go to bed.
Okay, so.
I had intended on playing one hand and then working on my staff. So
Okay.
I feel like in character, Morgan would want to do this, but like out of character, I don't need to, really delay the game and mess with who's got what gold.
Sure. That's totally fine. All right. Very good. In that case, yeah, I think if is there any conversation you wanted to have around the table?
I think Gabby wanted to talk to Martha.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. I just wanted, I think the player just wanted, I think, gave preference to everybody else before, so I just wanted to do that. But if there's nothing else, Miss Gabby, you can go have your conversation.
Yeah, Gabby would walk up to Martha while she's cooking. What does it smell like?
It's some sort of chili, chili, and the trail.
Oh, What's that? Uh, interesting aroma you've got there, Martha May.
Oh, hi, Miss Gabby. Um, well, on the trail we haven't had a whole lot of options, so beans keep fairly well. So it's chili again with some meat. Some people were able to gather.
That's nice. Martha May, you don't strike me as the adventuring sort.
Oh, and she looks down at the ground.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. I was just curious about why you'd want to go all this way out into the rock and see all these things.
Well, Miss Gabby, are you familiar with the God Nexus?
I think so. I remember it from schooling. I'm just going to roll a history check to see if I actually do know anything.
There you go.
Oh, 16.
And remind me, is your background the company?
Yes.
Yeah. Quite familiar with it for the most part. There's a lot of trading that would have gone on, so you're definitely familiar with this location that is generally underground, and that they harvest cenarium-like energy from the volcano that and they have population control issues.
Yeah, I imagine it was pretty hard for you to turn down the chance to pick up that cenarium just now.
Well, I mean, it was. So the reason I'm here is, well, my number came up, and so I actually don't mind so much because this is the first time I've seen the sky really since I've been here on the rock. We live in domed cities made of metal, and so I know this is a dangerous place, but it's also different and sort of exciting for me.
Sounds like it. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like to live underground like a mole and dig through tunnels and that sort of thing, and then to finally come out and burrow your way up and see that sky for the first time, all those stars. It must be magical.
It is kind of. I didn't really dig tunnels, though. My parents had me helping grow the food, and so I'm really good with plants and things. And even I was able to use some of the magic that we have in the city to help grow the food. So, um, to learn more about um, the way magic works here on the rock is definitely interesting to me. And if I'm being honest, I really did want to investigate the water and the stones, but we also were trying to build a new place, a new home, and I'd like to find myself a place there too.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's an interesting town we're heading to. You wouldn't happen to know anything about it, would you?
Well, I didn't know about the town completely until they told us when we were already on our way.
What have you heard?
Just that we're going there. And, Matt, do we know that it failed? Was a failed town before?
Um,
I don't remember the details. They would have told us like midway through,
Right,
through
right,
the
right.
Junius when we found out that we were actually
Yeah, what you believe you're just making a supply run at this point.
okay.
There will be safety there, and it's to resupply a town founded by the company.
So just that the company found it, and they need some supplies, and it was an opportunity to to get out of the kitchens back at the city we came from.
That's what you were told?
Isn't that what we're doing?
Oh, it is late. I probably should get some sleep. I would stay up to eat.
You want your bowl of chili before you go?
Sure. I'll have a bowl.
And you see that she reaches down into a small pouch and then produces some herbs that come out of it and sprinkles it on your chili. She's like, that should help maybe refine the taste a bit. By your fancy dress and all, I'm guessing the food that we've been eating on the trail isn't what you're used to.
That's really sweet. Martha.
Yes?
This is it's a dangerous. And for a second it looks like she's going to say more, and then she kind of shakes her head. Thank you for the chili. It's very nice of you. She goes back.
Of course. Have a good night, Miss Gabby.
You too.
Hey, Jackie?
Yeah.
Would you roll a perception or an insight?
Perception or insight?
Yeah, whichever one you want to.
Is it in regards to a lie?
It's not in regards to a lie, no.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see, perception or insight. I guess they're the same
I
to
just
me.
I just want to see if you catch Morgan in this.
Okay, fair enough. I guess that would be perception then. Okay, that's 23.
Cool. You see Morgan give the 6 gold that he got from Lady Silver, because from our earlier match, it was Lady Silver that was in the earlier. Yeah. I give Lady Silver back the 6 gold that I won in that match, but I make 0 effort to make contact with you at all.
Right.
Thank you, Miss Morgan. That's very kind of you. I'm sorry about my cheating.
Well, now sometimes when we're dealing with the wealthy, we do what we got to do.
That's very understandable. I'm just trying to help find a way for my boy, so.
That's all we're all trying to do.
All right. In that case, as we get to the next morning, then we'll go ahead and take our 15-minute break and come back for that. Well, all right. So, everybody back?
Back.
Yep.
Nine.
Good. Cool. I think that's everybody. Courtney?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So, this is a decision, and I know you've made. It sounds like you sort of have a way about which you had been choosing to go, but I will check in with this one more time. Do you want? Is this going to be a basic straight shot, or are you going to be looking for opportunities to explore, or leave it at some point during when there are there's time you got to water the not really water, but take care of the mounts here or there. Do you stay with, or do you go about exploring the area at all on your way, the last leg of this?
I think at times that we're taking breaks, Martha would want to wander and see what kind of plant life she can find, see if any of it would seem like it would be have medicinal purposes, or see what she could figure out about it. Using her herbalism.
I think Morgan would take the opportunity, when we were already needing to take breaks.
Yeah.
She's very much about, getting these people to the town. And from there, we can do what we need to do. But during the breaks, getting to sort of a decent vantage point to look around, see what might be worth coming back for. Not necessarily doing anything that would distract us now, but, finding those points, getting with Augie, making sure they're on the map, stuff that we might, do after we get this supply route to town.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense to me. So I'm seeing kind of helpful locations and helpful flora. Any other expeditions?
I would look for deposits of Cenarium.
Okay. So Cenarium hunting. Very good. All right. This is about 3 endeavors. So sounds like we've got that led by Martha May for flora, Morgan for locations, and Matthias for Cenarium. Anybody want to join in on any of those 3?
I'll join Morgan in the locations.
Lady Silver will accompany Martha May in case she needs some protection.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody on Cenarium? Okay. Just checking in. Oh, yeah, Cornelius, you here? Jackie, you here?
I'm sorry. Give me a minute. My
I'm here.
sister called me.
No worries. All right, no worries then. If you want to jump in on anything, we'll let you. All right. Did Miss Gabby Ross want in on any of that?
Absolutely not. Gabby Ross, if we're taking breaks, she's going to enjoy herself leisurely. She might take some money from some of the people that are kind of staying behind and that sort of thing. So give me a good figure and I'll just add it to my treasury.
Yeah.
Y'all have fun now, okay?
Very good. Okay, I think I'm going to come back to that. I have some fun that we can have with that later. But actually, this is what I'm going to do, Miss Gabby Ross. Give me a D100.
Okay. Where's my? You know what? Why not? I just hate. I hate the digital dice today, but it's all I've got for D100. So let's roll it. See what happens.
Yeah,
It's a 20.
a 20. Very good.
Sorry about that.
No, you told us before. You got to do that.
I just don't know what's happening now, so I'll
Well,
just.
I'll catch you up. I'll
Bye.
catch you up. If you're done, I'll catch you up right after this.
Okay.
No worries. I'll say, Gabby, you're able to get up 20 gold
Nice.
by kind of pushing people and everything and kind of gambling with them. And that's a very good winning. So there's this very much like you're not stealing because if you were to hire, that'd be almost stealing. But there's definitely a pushing your experience around, the people you're protecting. And it's weird because nobody quite wants to not play a game with the person who's protecting them, like to leave them alone. So there's a little bit of pushy, but it's manageable, I'd say. And Courtney, for Arya, basically there's 3 things going on right now. There's looking for, because this is what's happening now, is deciding when there's breaks, what is everybody doing. And some people want to look for scenariums, some people want to look for helpful plans, and others want to look for notable locations to possibly come back to. And so far, there's 2 people in each, except for scenarium hunting. But what would Arya like to do, if anything, or she'd like to hang back in camp?
I don't know about much help she would be in any of those situations, but I guess she would, just so nobody's alone, go scenario hunting.
Okay. Very cool. All right. In that case, let's start with some flora. I need a nature check from that crew, however you'd like to do that.
I can give you advantage. I am proficient.
Okay. That's a 7.
Bobby, you're all dice. With advantage, your dice on a nature check. Oh my gosh. Was that a 1? The 2 1s?
So, I guess this is one of those confusing things for me about druids is nature is not a proficient skill.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Do you have an herbalism kit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Add your proficiency to whatever you rolled for.
So that would be 9.
9. Yeah, still really bad. Search around this area. It's not that there isn't plants and all that. There is. You're not able to take what you know from your Guard in the God Nexus and apply it. The features are different, and as you go about harvesting, you already know, like, you cut in the wrong places based on, like, what you get out of it. You go, I can't really take a sample of this later. Though you try, it's just nothing that you can glean information out of at the moment. Or even, like, kind of put in. There's, it becomes kind of a hard trek there. And I do need to see is, see if we get a mishap out of that. Okay. So Though you and Silver are going through everything, at least until you get to your destination, do end up with the poisoned condition from kind of mishandling some plants. Some of it squirts in your eye. Some of it oddly runs away from you. You just identify some of it. It's a very hard. It's a new place, and even this deep in the rock, there's things here that aren't on the outskirts.
Okay.
All right. And then let's go to the scenariums. Up to you. Initially, this is going to be a survival check, or it could be nature as well.
Well, I know you got this, don't you? Bardic inspiration. You know what you're doing. I don't.
Now, does my sense of power help me with this at all?
Yes, actually, because you have sense of power. So your sense of power, this would be, we're going to save this check then, because you essentially detect this a lot easier.
Oh, then no Bardic inspiration. I'm not wasting it. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, just in case, I'll use my distraction in my background, just in case.
Yeah.
If need be.
Yeah, you have it up and ready. So you are able to you follow a path by sort of concentrating, breathing in and out, trying to center yourself on the song. And you're very much used to it, mostly just because even with Scenarium around here, not being in the halls within the God Nexus, there's a kind of hunger and void inside. And so you follow to where you feel more filled. And now with this, actually go ahead and you can put the Bardic Inspiration here now, because there's a few senses that you get of some nearby deposits, and it's kind of like how well you sense each one. So you can go ahead and make that check.
Okay, then yeah, you can have Bardic. I will allow you this.
And what kind of checks would they be?
This would be survival or nature.
And that's a D6 for Bardic.
And it's just a straight roll?
Yeah.
There's a 5 plus 6, so 11.
Very good. Okay. Like I said, you're guaranteed at something because of your feature there. So the 11, the rocky area here, there's a piece that drops off somewhat suddenly, but enough to where you can carefully walk down, holding on to outcroppings. It's almost as if from one, as you're going, there's a piece that just drops down about 60 feet, making a large shadowy area with a lot of large rocks. Seems like there was some type of either cave in or other type of seismic event that just created this area that's both gets down to a lower level, but also has all these types of places where there might be 2-foot pockets of space, anywhere between 1 and 3 foot pockets of space, and you make your way. There's plants that grow in between, and you come upon red crystals, and you look at them from a distance, and they seem somewhat small, but then they suddenly move. And as they do, they kind of go underneath some of the larger brown rock, and you see them begin to crop out just within your sight of larger. When you see a snake-like head kind of come out in front of the crystals into somewhat spindly legs kind of prop it up and arches its long back. As you see, it looks like as it reveals its full form on several rocks, the 7-foot snake-like creature that seems to choose between either to slither or to rest on its 6 legs, and coming out of it, kind of growing out of it, are red cenarium crystals.
Would I have any memory about the bonded cenarium?
I'm going to give you a history check on this to see if we
Okay.
can get through that amnesia of yours.
Okay, that's fine. I don't know how well that will work, but yeah, let's see. What's my history? There it is.
Advantage because we're dealing with repressed memory.
Okay. 8. I rolled a 6 and a 3.
Man. You know you've seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're I mean 100%, and it is valuable and useful.
About how far from the caravan are we?
I'd say for this break you've traveled about half an hour.
It's well over 120 feet away.
Yeah.
Well, I will relay the information that it's powerful and it's valuable.
Do you think we can take it?
I honestly don't. I don't know. Matthias,
Can I see? Is it only one?
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
That is a 10.
Okay. Looks like one.
The dice are just loving us tonight.
Love a
Okay.
little too.
Okay. Oh, I honestly, I don't want to take a chance because where one snake slithers, there's always a den, and
Yeah, but we only need one.
okay, but what if we have to if we attack this one, we have to fight multiple because they're mad because we killed its kin. We know where this is at, so we can come back, can't we? Maybe with backup? I'm not a very good fighter, Matthias. I'm sorry.
Okay. We can
Like
come.
I might be able to keep you alive for a little bit, but that's about it.
And there is no guarantee I could keep you alive. So.
Yeah. I prefer to stay that way, and so do my fans.
Then let it set back.
All right.
Okay. So you move on back. and leave it to its devices. All right, and then as we are just kind of mapping interesting locations, what is of great? What are you particularly trying to get a feel of? Team map.
I'm probably looking first and foremost for large geological features to, kind of fill in the map a bit more. Also, for I see cave entrances, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. In that case, let's go ahead and do. So this would be survival check with advantage because you're mapping with because you have cartographer's tools, right?
Yes.
Proficiency with it, yeah. So that would give you the advantage to do this.
Can I guide myself?
Yes.
Yeah. 13 19.
19. Very good. And then with that, Morgan, can you give me a perception check as you help them look out for places of interest?
Oh, gee, perception. That's okay. Ooh, rolled well. 19.
There we go. Okay. Very good. In that case, what you're able to discern here is you find what seems to be first landmark you come to is actually a very just tall formation. It juts out, not straight like a column, but it's jagged. Looks like maybe it was part of a large range at some point, but it's just singular. And then there's another. And another. And as you come closer, you see almost a series of hundreds of these separated natural formations of rock, each one anywhere from 20 to 60 feet high. And some are slightly closer than others, and you see that as you get closer, the space between them doesn't seem to be there, but it's not rock that's there. Precisely. It's not like formed rock. It looks like bits and pieces of things, as though stuff has nested here. And observing it, you do see many different colors, like a rainbow, spectrums of scenarium, bits that are left places. And whatever is kind of in there does seem to be filled, you could think, of very valuable elements indeed. But it does seem to be a very vast network.
Okay. Definitely going to want to check that out at some point. They're very pretty. Also look like useful and, valuable.
Yeah. So the way we'll work your map locations is if we ever want to travel to any of these places, all we'll need is a group stealth check, and because of the length of travel, things like pass without a trace won't be able to help with it. But and the average basically has to equal 15, and if you get that, you're able to essentially fast travel in session terms to in any of these locations.
Dope. Do you have a name for this particular location?
You can name it.
Let's
go with the rainbowed columns.
The peacock's fan.
But I don't see a fan. They're columns.
But it is an array of columns of rainbow
It's-
colored.
Rainbowed columns. That's what they are.
Sure.
We
You're
can
the
workshop
one.
it.
You're the one making the map. That's fine.
The rainbow columns.
Rainbowed. columns.
Rainbowed columns. Okay. Rainbowed columns. Good stuff. All right. So, y'all may meet back at camp here, and Jacer seems pretty sure, as I assume you kind of talk about kind of what everybody was doing, that he can lead the group. Kind of the next leg, and you all could probably catch up, and it's relatively safe. He doesn't foresee any big issues if you want to get together and pursue any of these leads. Or you could simply not. It's up to you.
Does anyone want to go snake hunting?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we're already here and we already know where it's at. And it'd probably be easier than exploring those. What'd you call them, Ogie?
Rainbowed columns. The rainbowed columns.
Oh,
specifically.
The rainbowed columns. I think that would take a little bit more time than hunting down a snake.
Yeah, we can always come back to it.
What does everybody else think?
Well, again, I thought we were here to avoid risk, but that's not really my call.
Well, if you don't want to go, all you gotta say is, I don't want to go.
What I thought we were looking for were things to come back to. I'm still interested in getting this group to town as quickly as possible. The more risk we put them at, the less productive we are.
Jorah said he could take them the rest of the way.
They could continue on. We could get that snake and then join them
Catch
as
up.
quickly as possible. That's what he said, but that's up to you guys.
Will I'm getting this snake thing somehow help the townsfolk? Maybe?
What it was covered in might help monetarily.
I believe it would help us help the people.
All right, let's handle this snake then.
I will start walking in the direction that it was.
All right. Sounds good. So,
Martha looks a little wheezy, but she'll head that direction.
yeah.
Snake meat. It's an acquired taste, but it grows on you.
Amazing.
So, out of curiosity, we're sending these wagons on up ahead, right? And we're going to go kill something and take a bunch of stuff back with us. How exactly is it we're going to be carrying the stuff back with us if we're sending the wagons on ahead?
I believe me and Martha are pretty good at carrying things.
As long as you don't mind.
I mean, my body is a part, like, machine, so I don't really mind.
I just didn't want to volunteer you for anything, Lady Silver, and I just wanted to make sure that concern was addressed before we sent ahead our wagons.
Miss Gabby, there's some of us that don't mind getting our hands dirty a little bit. Some of us that don't need others to clean our dresses for us.
I'm going to pretend to understand what that means.
I'm also okay carrying things.
Good. Well, it sounds like it's settled then.
Thank you for your concern, Miss Gabby.
Of course. I am nothing if not considerate of all our concerns.
I'm sorry.
thoughtful.
Love table, real quick. Timeout. I want to slap Gabby so hard.
Okay, good. It's not just me. It's
I
like,
want to slap her so hard.
As long as you don't want to slap Jackie, I'm cool with it.
No, I just want. I not even slap. I just want to punch her in the face.
Oh,
Break that cute little nose.
I don't know if y'all read the backstory I dropped into our channel, but Gabby is absolutely rubbing Morgan the wrong way.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest real quick. I'm so sorry.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's like, I'm not sure how I feel about this character.
Okay.
It's nothing personal, Jackie. It's
not.
It's just Miss Gabby.
Yeah, I trust you that there's a reason behind all of this. I'm just saying that for now.
I love her, but I hate her at the same time.
Yes.
If that makes any sense. It's kind of like a Bart Simpson thing. You love him, but hate him. Okay.
Perfecto.
All right. Back to the game. I'm sorry.
Okay. Very good. All right. So as you make your way to now, since because there's a lot of you now, I do need a group stealth check.
Ooh, 18.
11.
Okay, 22.
I'm trying to
21.
decide on which dice is not going to betray me. Hold on.
I forgot I have disadvantage.
I got a 25 total.
Still 11.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an 8.
Okay, let me get this. Sorry about that. All right, let's see what we got here. So, we got 8 for Courtney, and then I'll just go to the bottom, then I'll go up. Silver,
11.
11. Ogie,
25.
25. And then Miss Gabby.
18.
Very good. And then Morgan.
21.
Good. Then Matthias.
A 22.
Very nice. And then Martha.
Martha got a 3. Still a little woozy, maybe a little bit.
That wasn't a nat 1, was it?
No, it was not a 1.
Oh, okay.
Then Silver, did you roll with
It's
disadvantage?
Yeah, I rolled the second time, and I would have gotten natural 20, but I got
Okay.
11.
Very
So.
cool. Oof. You're all passed by 0.4 on that average. Good
Bobby,
job.
you and I need to figure out what's wrong with our dice. I'm just saying.
It makes for interesting story, Courtney. It just makes for interesting story.
Yeah, not being able to do anything. Yeah, it's perfect.
It's not being able to do anything. It's what happens because you don't succeed at doing the thing.
So together, all of you begin to learn that as much as Martha May likes nature, she's not quite good walking in it. There's a few times she almost falls down some pitfalls, rocks roll over, and you're able to grab her. And I think Silver, eventually you just put her on your back and let your frame.
Martha, just ride me. It's okay. I'll carry you.
Yeah, I think Gabby tries to talk to Martha to kind of calm her down a little bit.
Aria's just whistling while she's walking.
I'm sorry, all. I think maybe I touched a plant that I don't.
You have nothing to apologize for.
It definitely was those plants we were messing around with earlier. I don't feel so good either.
What did you two get into?
Well, a couple of them ran away.
Yeah.
So,
Ran away?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said plants.
Yeah, they were.
They were plants.
And they ran away.
They ran away.
Okay, so we're right now walking through this area, and I'm just now learning there are walking plants.
Oh, I'm
we
sorry,
forget to tell
Miss
you?
Gabby. You're right. We should have said something sooner.
No, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. And now she's really paying attention to where she steps.
Would you also like a ride, Miss Gabby?
Oh, I would love one. If it's not much of a burden.
It's fine.
Very
Martha,
good.
be a dear and help me up.
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am. She'll reach down and help you.
I can just hear the anger. I love it.
Amazing. Oh. So you carefully come upon the tumbled rock, and here in the dark, there is a very dull white glow, very soft, that just comes out from between them. And as you observe, you do see occasionally a large form kind of move up between the rocks. Along its body is the soft red glow of the crystals it carries on it. It slithers. And
The point at which Morgan first sees it, she draws her dagger and holds the curved handle of it effectively like you would a pistol, right? Like a crossbow. She's treating the spine of it like the barrel of a crossbow. And she's just tracking this thing as it moves. She hasn't started firing, but she's just tracking it as it moves.
Guys, maybe we should not use our Cenarian weapons. Our silent weapons. We don't want to attract more than we can handle.
Oh, but what should we use?
I have a bow. Anybody else have a bow?
I do.
You have a bow?
I do. She pulls out a longbow
That's fine.
from somewhere.
Maybe we could, people who need to be in range of it, sneak up to it, and we can attack from far, but I think we don't want to attract too much attention.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Ogie also has a longbow.
This is just a suggestion. I'm not saying this is what we do, but I want your guys' opinions.
I like your idea.
I was kind of planning on seeing if I could crawl above it. So whenever y'all decided to attack, I could also drop down onto it. Or at least near it.
Morgan's only other option is to use this dagger like a dagger.
And I would say there you can investigate that. You can make a few checks here if you'd like. There's things that you might be able to learn. But
You mean looking to see if there's any more?
yeah, I'm always let you know that there's always investigative things.
Cool.
I have no investigation. I have no I have +2 investigation and +1 perception.
Morgan will happily do an investigation.
Okay.
While stealthing.
Yeah. So to observe from afar will be perception.
Yeah.
Unless so generally thinking perception's the general area, investigation is something like an object or a scene. of something to give the general idea. So it depends. If you have something you're particularly looking for within that vein, then that works. But
All right. Can I give someone advantage if I'm proficient?
Mhm.
Okay.
I could give you. You know what? You got some great eyes on you, don't you, Morgan? You know what you're looking for, right?
Above the table. My perception is crap. My investigation is not bad.
Okay. Who has great perception?
I'm okay at it.
I mean, it's not great, but I've got a
Like-
feeling it's going to be pretty high because I'm proficient and I do have good wisdom.
My perception is 2. My investigation is 7.
Okay, Ogie, what's your perception?
6.
It's better than mine.
I got a feeling it's going to be either me or Martha that's the most perceptive, but she's a little like high or something right now.
Yeah.
Decided
You
to
know
power
what?
level her alchemy skill.
I'm going to turn my attention to Ogie. Ogie,
Yeah.
get those little feelers out there and try to figure out what's happening. And I think you know that you've got this, and you can have a bardic of a D6.
Okay. So what? I'm just looking around the general area, I guess.
You're looking for more of those things.
all right.
Okay.
So perception. You're just taking a look out.
Okay, and I've got advantage, right?
Yes.
Somebody was helping. Okay.
And you have
And
a
then
D6.
Can I also guide myself?
That's how I got that 40 on
Yes,
my
yes.
Feel free to tell me no at any point. I just, I figure it doesn't hurt to ask. Alright, so 16, 21, 23, 29.
You and your 29s. I don't know how we're getting 29s level 2, but it's amazing. So you
Okay, I got a 16, a 5, and then a 2, and I've got a +6. So it's good rolls that I got.
all good. Looking through and tracking this movement, this area probably spans a good 300 feet that you're looking at. And there are multiple of these larger snakes here. They don't seem to congregate with one another, but something loud would probably alert the whole group to encroaching danger. What you also are able to see is against their skin, you first thought there was kind of various sizes of crystal, small and large. You now see that the pieces that are small actually look like they belong to somewhat smaller snakes that are against their skin. And there's a point where you don't see the full bodies, so it looks like they're partially almost like they can move in and out of its body. Kind of stick their heads out, holes, look around, and come back in.
I have a question about the rock in general.
Mhm.
What's the likelihood that creatures are scared off by loud sounds, like in nature?
Sure.
Or would we even know? I guess we wouldn't know because this is the rock.
So, yeah, well, I'd make a nature check. I think a nature check is sufficient to determine that.
Okay. Oh wow, 17, not bad.
Okay. Generally speaking, creatures that show strong signs of scenario mutation, like those that have actual bits on them, tend to be very territorial. so they tend to get more aggressive when threatened. Ones that don't show those obvious signs tend to be the ones that would run away.
Okay, fair enough.
Do we want to try and lure this one snake away from the others?
Are you good with animals?
Not me.
I'm
I
good
am
with animals.
The
I'm
others are
awesome.
attached to it, though.
I am awesome with animals.
And they also seem to be a part of it.
Well, we can try. Okay, we can. Because what'd you say, Ogie? There was multiple larger ones as well as all the tiny ones inside this snake.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So if we hit this thing with an arrow, it's probably not gonna kill all those little ones. We'd have to hit it with something that really gets it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say with that nature check too, you figure if you, I will give you, you generally think that if you could lure it out and then use Cenarium weapons, everything's not going to attack you. But if you assault like the nest with Cenarium is when they would feel overly threatened.
Okay, I would relay that, and
Yeah.
and in Gabby's traditional fashion, she would say that she read about it in a book before she came out this way.
With that, Morgan is going to try and sneak forward and attract just one of their attention.
Oh, well,
Okay.
I guess she's going.
I
So
like that.
I'll take out my gun and I'll be ready.
Okay.
I'm
So,
going. Can I
Yes.
use the Whistler's distraction
You
just
may.
in case?
Now
Alright.
that there it is.
Yep.
There it
There's
is.
good use for it. I was like, wait for it.
Yes, I want to use the Whistler's distraction on the other on the group other than the one that we're targeting.
So what does that
That
do?
makes sense. It gives them disadvantage on noticing us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So describe for me how this is going to look when you do it.
Okay. So she's just going to because you make a noise, so she's going to throw her voice pretty much. She's going to throw her voice and do like maybe like something that sounds like a bunny squeal, like a rabbit is in yeah.
Oh, I love it. And then I love that. And they just get the disadvantage. Very cool. So for a combination here, I'll say, Morgan, go ahead and give me a stealth check. Understand that you're trying to stealth for the others, but not the particular one that's closest to you.
Oh, I'm stealthing for them all at this point. I want
yeah.
to sneak up on this thing. But
Sure.
looking at a 22.
Absolutely. So you're gonna be able to get pretty close. What do you want to do specifically?
I am going to throw my dagger at it.
Okay.
So I only need to get within dagger throwing range.
Okay. All right. So you're able to get there, and you can make an attack if you want.
Uh, 26 to hit.
Okay. That will hit.
So that's 8 plus sneak attack. Where is that? That's here. Okay. So 12 damage.
Sorry, I didn't mean to roll that.
All good. Okay, so and then
I
we wanna-
immediately bonus action phase step, which is a 30-foot teleport.
Yep.
And then use my movement to come back to the group. So total of at full dagger range, and then 60 movement back.
Absolutely. And then so what was your throne range on that?
Let's see, daggers. I would have thrown it at 20.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you all are 80 feet then away, we'll say. And then roll for initiative.
Do we get No. God, why do I always hesitate on rolling initiative? Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
effectively might just because of the distances involved. But technically that was the surprise of them. So if you have something that's I think what is there anything in particular you'd like to do that you feel like you need a surprise run for, I guess?
Well, I was going to shoot it with an arrow whenever it got close enough, or whatever. It don't matter. Like it.
So
whatever.
For the record, I am fine with not being all the way back to the group. I do want to make sure that if they're firing their sonant weapons, it would be far enough away from the others. So if I'm not all the way back to the group, then that's
We'll
fine.
call it 80 feet good. Like you've met the requirements here.
Okay.
Martha, May, I just need your initiative.
Disadvantage, right? This is a check?
Yes, yep, because you're
Yep.
poisoned.
Poison.
15.
Okay. Perfect. Ooh. Cool. All right, so we'll get moving here. Awesome. So real quick, Aria, what is your range on your bow?
80.
80 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say it's sort of up to you how you want to do this. They're
don't
able.
make me make that decision. You
No.
can't do that
No.
to me.
I'm
Okay.
saying sorry. Let me say that a different way because I get how that just sounded. I apologize. What I'm saying is, if you do this now, the more kind of damage and attacks that happen before it gets to move and chase, the
Mhm.
bigger the chance the things around it might be alerted and feel like the nest is being attacked.
Gotcha.
Allowing
Okay.
it to move and kind of do what it's going to do while riskier, in the sense from it, does give you distance enough to probably be able to be more aggressive to it itself.
I'll just wait.
Okay. All right. In that case, so in the initiative order, Ogi, you can do what you want, hold an action, whatever you'd like to do.
So, from our understanding is basically as long as we don't use the sonnet weapons right now, we're okay.
Hitting it while it's in its nest, there is a percentage die I have.
Okay. Then I will hold my action to shoot it with my longbow once it gets closer. To the point where I think it will be far enough away that the others won't attack us.
100%. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. And in that case, there is this, the shriek, from now. First of all, as you made this whole rabbit thing, Arya, a lot of the other, you see these other large forms go various places. They're hunting for this prey that they sense. And this creature being attacked now is going towards the threat. They don't seem to notice this. They think, oh, they're going for another rabbit ultimately. And they're going to hold their deal. And you see that now the crystals on its back begin glowing a brighter red, specifically the smaller ones. And then Morgan, it is your turn.
I will bonus action Hexblade's curse this thing.
You got it.
And I will wait for it to get out of the nest for a sonnet attack.
Okay. Very good. And Miss Gabby Ross.
What's the distance again?
Currently, we're at 80 feet.
So way out of range for Sonic, correct?
Right, so a lot of waiting right now.
All right. And are any of them out of the nest?
Not yet, has not moved yet.
Oh,
It's just not its turn to move, that's all.
okay. Yeah, I guess what I'll do then is I'll hold my shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Arya?
I'm gonna hold an arrow until. Actually, you know what? I'm going to back up 20 feet from the group
Absolutely.
and then hold my arrow until it gets like out of the nest or close
Gotcha.
enough there. Feel like it's it's not going to attract the others' attention.
100%. Yeah. But you guys didn't feel like they were super intelligent, so just need to get a little bit of ways. Martha May.
So, Martha will pluck 3 stones out of a pouch at her side and begin humming a low hum as the stones begin to resonate with a little bit of magic. And she's casting magic stones and
Nice.
will get her sling ready to fire at the creature once it's within range, which is 30 feet.
Very cool. Matthias.
I am going to twist my staff and separate it, tuck one half in the back of my belt, and then swing around a nunchuck-esque weapon now. And then I just want to move 10 feet forward, trying not to get into anybody's line of sight for their shot, but also enough. Hopefully, the movement attracts it.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense to me. 100%.
Matt, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Watching last week's session, there were comments about the rounds being descriptive or not descriptive and a damage bonus associated with that. And I've not played in the game with that. Could you explain that so that I know what's going on?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and I think we'll start next round. This is very much getting into it. Yeah. So the way that this works is you can get up to a 6 damage per attack bonus on the monsters here. And you do that by describing versus like kind of saying what you're going to do. The whole idea would be that you would be descriptive with what your attack looks like, your deals, and usually does not include the phrases like "I cast this" or "I attack," and that type of thing. So something like "My dagger flashes" and a burst of energy. First you hear it, and then you can see this small blue light go right within the gullet of this beast. Something along those lines. And then you kind of roll and we go from there. Kind of same with like things like and when people are talking about the stones, right? Like I hold them over my Cenarium crystal as they begin to resonate with their own hum, and I cast Magic Stone. So we kind of know just what happened and what resource was expended. If that makes sense.
Sure.
And the idea is if everyone does that in a round, then you increase the bonus by 1. If one person fails to do that, then the bonus resets to 1 entirely. So just as a good thing to keep us descriptive and more visual is the whole idea. So Matthias specifically, I'm sorry, did you get closer or just adjacent?
I'll say closer.
Okay, about how many feet?
About 10.
10 more feet. Okay, so you decrease your distance to 70. Very good. Now, absolutely. So making that movement and that sound, it's kind of lost track of its initial prey, so it will see you as that. And it will go 60 feet towards you, dashing as it as it moves. It actually, the crystals kind of reverberate around it, and the ground underneath it broils, and it's almost like it's breaking apart stone and pushing itself and creating kind of this track, and it's gaining up speed, momentum, and force like a charge as it's going towards you wicked quick now. And as it does so, it seems like it grows about 3 feet wider. And these 3 smaller creatures burst out of its sides. Snakes themselves, tiny, and fly directly by you. And at this point, those of you who held stuff to be in range, it's definitely in range of all your stuff. You may fire upon the large guy here.
22 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, and I'm gonna go ahead favor foe it.
Yeah.
It's 12 for Martha.
12 will miss.
Yeah, I missed too.
All right.
I definitely hit.
13 as Ogie just pulls back, just bog standard arrow this time. Nothing fancy happening here. He just pulls back and he's trying to chip. He was probably aiming to try to chip off chunks of the crystal.
Nice. All right. Damage for Cass, or Gabby rather.
Yeah, Gabby lined it up perfectly and pulled the trigger and got 18 thunder damage with that nat 20.
Woo! All right. Anybody else need me to give me their damage?
I'm still rolling that, but Morgan lines up the spine of that pistol, and just the lightning crackles down the spine and shoots out the tip of the dagger, and just pierces in and gets right in one of those vital areas.
Yes.
Still doing the math here. For 28 lightning damage.
Ooh.
All the noise just jostles Aria, and she shoots high, and it just goes right over this snake.
Hey, cool. For my clarification, what's the lightning from?
Is the thunder damage? Sorry, isn't that the sonnet weapon? Is thunder damage?
Thunder, yes. You said lightning. That's why I was just double checking.
Apology.
No worries.
Thunder
I was
damage.
just double checking so I knew I was going.
That's
Very
right.
cool. Perfect. All right. Then these creatures flying by you there, Matthias, go to bite as they whiz by.
Will I get an opportunity on one of them?
You are not, unfortunately.
Cool.
And in game terms, they have the flyby trait, which means that they don't provoke opportunities when they fly out of your reach. So I got a 22, a 15, and a 20.
Those will all hit.
Okay. So they... and that will be...
How far away from us is he? Or from me?
I believe 10 feet.
Okay. Then I'm going... It's just the small ones that hit him?
Yes, 3 of the small ones got launched here.
Okay. Then I'm going to have whichever one is the damage dealer, have them make a Constitution saving throw as I use my protective backlash.
Okay, well, all 3 are dealing damage, but yep.
Okay, one of them.
You got it. And what you discover that looks like they got a 2?
So you see Ogi grab the weirdly shaped spike dagger thing from his chest, pull it out, and it appears the blade is pure cenarium, and it almost looks like a spear tip kind of thing, or like the tip of a javelin. And he just takes it and he just hits it against his bow or the ground, the rock, something, as it kind of just to cause resonation with it, and he kind of gets the energy built up in it, and he swings it around, and it shoots it back at, and kind of shoots that energy back at the snake, and then a little bit of it also resonates with Matthias.
Okay, awesome. So what's the total effect of this?
So it is taking 10 points of radiant damage, I believe. Yeah. And after he takes the damage, or after Matthias takes damage from getting hit by it, he's going to heal back 5 points.
Okay. So at once, this bite comes across you, and as it does, like, the crystals on its back resonate and blast this resounding energy up into your skull, cracking bits of it. Essentially, this shoots concussive force right to your brain. This was a total of 11 damage, of which instantly, from this other blast, the interference that is generated by your Ogi here heals that 5. Essentially prevents that from ever taking place. As the rest of it, you see it like track the path of the sonnet energy and just evaporate and disintegrate this creature as it just is gone.
That was much appreciated.
No problem.
All right, and the rest of this, let's see here. Cool. The other 2 who hit This next one does the same thing essentially as the two go. 8. And then it was going to go ahead and do 10, which is not going to put you into the full negative instant death. But definitely, you see Matthias, like, just get knocked down flat from these things. So do you believe Matthias is at 0, yes?
Yes.
All right. Silver.
All right. So Silver's gonna take off running because this thing's about 40 feet away, or 20 feet.
20.
20 feet. So yeah, you're gonna see her take off running, and as she's running, her hooves are absorbing the energy in the scenario from the ground, and it's gonna be building up into her body as she starts going into a rage almost, and like she's gonna scream out, and then you're gonna watch her jump into the air, coming down with her big old greatsword right across the big back of this creature. And I am going to Reckless to make it a straight roll.
Yeah.
That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Nice. That will be 13 damage.
Nice.
She lands right next to it. Pretty much wants to land over Matthias almost.
Yeah, I gotcha. Gonna go with Matthias landing square on it. You hear cracking of crystal and bone as it is effectively bloodied.
That is my turn.
All right, Ogie.
All right.
We're at +2 damage there, hand.
First, I'm gonna take my little dagger thing, strike it on the ground again, as I will bonus action healing word Matthias for 7 points. And then action, I'll go ahead and take this dagger thing and strap it on to what looked like a sight, but it was anybody that knows hunting archery, it's a whisker biscuit. Sticks it in there, twists the pommel of it as it extends back, and he clips it onto the bow part. As he pulls it back and lets it go for a sonnet weapon attack at is the big guy within 30 feet of us?
Yes.
Okay. At the big guy, and as you see it pull back and draw forward, you see essentially just this almost incorporeal arrow shoot out and hit him, or go to hit him.
Absolutely.
For a 17 to hit.
Dead center.
Okay. And that is 10, 14 plus the 2, so 16 thunder damage.
Excellent.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. Now, the tiny ones have their free ability now released. And they're going to sweep on down towards Mama and therefore Silver. As they let out the shriek that seems to propel them, sonic energy rippling around them, keeping them in flight. As they come down, swoop around Silver's neck. For 13.
Miss.
17.
Hit.
All right. The one's fangs pierce your neck for 1 piercing, and then deliver that blast for 7 thunder damage. As they fly up 20 feet into the air. Ooh. Actually, they're going to go higher. They're going to go 40 into the air. Because they are sonnet aware. Morgan.
So the big one is still in effectively melee with Silver, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Morgan just realigns that dagger just straight down the spine, taking advantage of Silver having distracted for just a moment to get in that just extra little bit of oomph, and fires that sonnet energy down the spine of the dagger.
Yes.
For a 18 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. For 15 thunder damage.
Very nice. Yeah. You see now it's wavering. A lot of the crystals are cracked on it, and they lose a little bit of their glow. It is hurting bad. And there's nothing else. We can go to Miss Gabby Ross.
All right. Just so I'm clear, the big one, is that the one that has Silver?
It's the one that Silver's over, yeah.
Okay. So Gabby takes a couple of steps forward, about 5-10 feet or so forward. Maybe takes 5 feet back from there as well, and puts her hand behind her back in that refined way gunslingers should, and lines up her shot, and we'll go ahead and pull that trigger for a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Whoops. That is a 9 plus 4, 13 plus 2 is 15 thunder.
Nice. Love it. With that, hole opens up in its side, and you can see here that there is crystals and like it's almost like the insides of it with like blood vessels and even its bone all have this red crystal growing upon it.
So yeah, I'd shout, looks like it. There's those crystals you want.
All right, then Arya.
So Mama looks really hurt. Is
Yes.
that what I'm
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Am I within 60 feet of it?
Yes.
Okay. Arya's eyes will start glowing, just a faint violet glow to them, and she'll start singing this discordant melody towards this thing and cast dissonant whispers.
Ooh.
So a wisdom.
13.
God damn it.
At a plus 0 too, so sorry.
It's fine.
All right. Martha.
So Martha will head over to it's Matthias, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure I pronounced the name right. I remember last Sunday there was something about the pronunciation, so I want to make sure I got it right. We'll run over to Matthias, who I'm guessing is still on the ground, hurt, and she'll take, as she's running, she's pulling a bracelet off of her wrist, and on that bracelet are 3 carved stones in the shape of animals, and she'll lay it on his chest and begin again humming, but a different pitch, a different tune, and as she does, some of that sonic energy will go from the carved animals on this bracelet and sort of resonate throughout his body, healing some wounds.
Absolutely.
Cure wounds.
Yeah. So it's in a crystalline formation that the wounds kind of close up, slightly painful but comforting. And the scar tissue there actually is is now a white crystalline covering on where your scars were, or where the openings were.
6 more hit points.
There you go.
Thank you.
So that was my action. As my bonus action, she's also going to focus on one of those animals that's shaped like a bear, and just fluctuate the tone a little bit of the humming that she's doing, and it'll cause a crystalline version of a bear to appear, so that it and as it appears, there's sort of this light that forms in a circle roughly about 30 feet, and it encompasses the group, each gaining a little bit of extra potency. So everybody gets 7 temp hit points who's within 30 feet.
That is pretty slick.
That's everybody but Arya, right?
I think from where they center it, Arya will get that.
Yeah.
I think that gets the whole crew.
So what is it? 7 temp?
7 temporary hit points, and you have advantage on strength checks and saves.
Okay, thank you.
That is legit.
And that's all my stuff.
100%. It's going to read Silver as the biggest threat as it's trying to stand over it and stomping it down. It's so hurt. It's kind of in just dying mode, so it will not run but lash out at Silver with a large bite up to your torso as it raises up, but it's so hurt that its spine cracks a bit and it just falls down, unable to lift itself up to get you with a natural 1. Silver, it is your turn.
Seeing that as it falls right before her, she's just gonna kind of shake her head and in a pity almost just bring up her blade and shove it down.
Yeah.
So that is a 23 to hit.
It hits.
And she just goes for its head. That's 10, 12, 14 damage.
That will be precisely what you need. How do you want to kill it?
She just shakes her head as a pity and goes, "I'm sorry, but what you have is more needed somewhere else," and slices right off its head.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so there's just the small ones left.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go ahead and how far up in the air are they?
40 feet.
Okay. Is there a place nearby that I could climb up to get within 30 feet of them?
I'd say you could get a. Well, they did 40. Yeah, there's enough rock outcroppings here that you get about 10 feet up.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and climb on up there then, and just same thing as before, because it didn't. My spike didn't actually leave, and so then I just pull it back again, and I'm gonna try to knock one of these guys out of the air as I launch another spectral looking arrow. That's not gonna hit. That's an 8 to hit.
No, just misses.
All right. And that will be my turn.
Okay. Then, interesting. You sense as you kind of separate yourself out from the group, you garner their attention in a more direct way. and they're going to fly directly at you and then past you, retreating to the nest. But as they do, they each try to bite at your neck. So first one.
Okay, real
Yes.
quick question.
Yes.
Okay, never mind. It says whenever an ally. Never mind. I was
Okay.
gonna see if I could use projective backlash against attacks against myself. It says I
Okay.
cannot.
It's an 11 and a 16.
Does a 16 hit? If so, that's going to be a silvery barbs for me. At least I can do something useful here
16 would hit.
than silvery barbs.
Courtney, I rolled another 16.
Motherfucker! Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just not having a good night tonight. It's okay. It is okay.
Sometimes when I want to fudge rolls like right now, but it bites, that same blast comes down your spine for a total of 7 damage, 1 piercing, 6 thunder, and it will go. They'll be able to each get 50 feet away towards the nest. And get that. There we go. So now it's all up to you whether you want to pursue these things or be done. I should say this real quick, probably the easiest. I just want to know, is anyone going to try to... Well, I'll just go down the initiative. It's fine. Morgan.
Morgan is worried that if they get back to the nest, there will be some sort of commotion. So Morgan will keep aimed towards the nest and ready an attack if something comes out towards us.
Gotcha.
But won't pursue.
Yeah. Miss Gabrios.
Does anybody look like they're in need of not dying?
No one's at 0 currently.
Okay. I think Gabby would do exactly what Morgan's doing, which is to make sure the perimeter is secure while we check on everybody.
Perfect. Arya?
Anybody look hurt at all? Like anybody missing hit points? I want to at least do something. Let
Yes.
me heal somebody.
I am.
Okay.
You can heal Silver.
All right, that works.
And I was missing hit points.
I rolled a 1.
Is that just 1 HP?
3. That'd be 4.
4.
Thank you.
All right.
For me, that's like 8 HP. So thank you.
It's true. As some of the bits that holds the fleshy frame to the metal frame reconnect, and even the cenarium lined wires grow in again and connect to her spine in a more permanent fashion. And Martha.
Martha will spend her turn helping Matthias stand up and then sort of look towards the nest, not really taking any action.
Gotcha. And lastly, not lastly, but Matthias?
I would accept the help up.
Yeah. So yeah. Get helped up. And then Silver.
I'm throwing this thing on the back of me and riding off towards where we came from.
Okay, so you pack this thing up and go, let's get out of Dodge.
Yep.
100%. All right. Then Ogie. So I'd say, are you guys disengaging from the nest then? I would say it appears that there's no reprisal coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're keeping an eye out on the nest, but we're leaving it be. As long as they don't attack us, we're not going to attack them.
Okay. Very cool. Is that you too, Arya?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was hearing a noise. I wasn't sure if that was you or not. I want to make sure people were able to talk. Mute can be interesting. In that case, you make your way and start. Well, what would you like to do? To go right to catch up, or do you want to find a place to kind of hold up for the night?
I'd like to see if we can harvest some stuff from this giant snake thing.
A short break wouldn't hurt. A short rest and some harvesting, and then we get on our way.
Yeah, me and Martha May are still poisoned and feeling a little funny.
Well, that's what you get for eating weird plants.
No, we didn't eat it. We were just touching it, trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then they just ran away.
Do you not have the proper safety equipment?
What did this plant look like so we can avoid it also?
Martha will try and describe the plant.
With that check, you have no idea. Like, she describes a plant, basically.
Has
It's
leaves.
just so.
It's got leaves
I mean,
and stems.
Yeah, it's.
If you weren't using, proper PPE, I'm sure OSHA would have something to say about it. But
Yeah, that guy's a real stickler for safety protocols. I don't know what's up his butt.
Well, I'll keep watch if you all need to take a breather, of course.
Okay. Yeah, you have this, and to try to get some of the crystal out of here is a little bit of an operation. Now, there are other resources eventually you can get to make this a little easier, but currently, character's not been here long enough to really learn of much, as you want to try to get this as much crystal as possible outside of this creature. So,
Friendly reminder, one inspiration left.
who would like to be the one harvesting?
so,
I mean, I did say that I wanted to, so
Okay.
well,
if somebody
What
wants to
I'm-
help me,
what I'm willing to say is I have a really good sleight of hand in that the delicate knife work that might be necessary I can help with, but somebody that with a nature or survival that might be able to guide me in where to cut would be good, but I can do the delicate knife work.
Okay.
so it sounds like one of us is helping the other one in some way, shape, or form.
All right. In that case, what we'll do is we'll do a sleight of hand check and a survival check, and we'll see where we get.
Can I give myself guidance?
Yes.
Uh, 26.
25.
Very good. So, you both spend some time here while others are resting. This is active work. This is not light work. This is holding things open, being very careful to get these with two people. And while this is happening too, Miss Gabriel, please give me that perception check for keeping watch.
All right, I'll go ahead and use my inspiration.
So I think that might make a straight roll if you don't have dark vision.
Yeah, it would.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
Not bad for level 2.
Yeah.
And I'll take that inspiration.
Very good. You see off in the distance a kind of very, very slight orange coloring coming off of a ridge. About 100 feet away.
Okay.
And you can just sort of make out by the glow that it seems to highlight. You're not going to make any details at this range, but you can see that it highlights a face, and the glow seems to be really close to an eye, or an eye would be.
All right, and I know that Silver and Matthias are both resting, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Ogie and Morgan are both kind of busy, so I would look at Arya and kind of gesture for her.
She'll look.
Hey, do you see that?
Would I see it?
Yeah, you see it. She points it out.
Yeah, that is an eyeball.
Yeah, I don't see real good in the dark. I didn't know if you could make it out any better than me.
Can I make it out better than her?
You can make a perception check, see if you get any more detail.
You got this.
No, I don't. Oh, what is my perception? 10.
Can't make out much more detail. And
You're throwing out those dice.
unfortunately. So, just you see this. It's just someone's watching.
I don't like this.
Well, as long as we don't bother it, it shouldn't bother us, right?
We should probably tell the others there's something out there, though, so they're alert.
All right.
So Gabby kind of walks back to the group and says, not to alarm you all or disturb what you're doing, but there's a giant eyeball out there that's kind of watching us. Just thought you'd like to know.
Miss Gabby Ross, have you been eating some of the plants that me and Martha May were investigating?
Lady Silver, I am appalled that you would even suggest such a thing. I am just trying to look out for our well-being. I was keeping watch, and there's a giant eyeball out there. You can ask Miss Arya. She saw it too.
Now you say giant.
Well,
How big is it?
I mean, it's bigger than an eyeball should be if it were on a person such as myself. I mean, granted, I'm a little shorter than all of you, but even your own eyeballs would be smaller than the eyeball that I saw, even considering the distance between the eyeball here.
I meant to describe that what you're seeing is essentially a face looking at you that seems to be looking through an orange type of thing. No, sorry. This is my...
I was going to say, I'm like,
Gabby.
when did it become just a giant eyeball? Like, it was. Are we throwing a beholder at us at level 2? Because I don't think we're gonna make it,
I'm
guys.
just changing the lore of the rock.
Staring at us.
Did it look like a humanoid face?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so forget what I just said.
You were
I was trying to go with it because I'm like, hey, if it's maybe something different, like maybe this would be interesting. But I'm like, we're going a direction we ain't going.
No, it looked like a person. Normal sized eyeballs on a person with an orange tint.
So you saw people.
Yes, watching us. A person. Just one.
Well, maybe they're scared of us. Because we're
Maybe.
more than one.
I don't know. But we should, when you're ready, we should definitely get on out of here.
Should
I'm a
we
little
talk to
nervous.
them?
You want me to go talk to them?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I could.
Morgan, who is elbow deep in this snake crystal thing, just goes, "Talking does seem to be what you're best at, isn't it, Miss Gabby?"
Well, I mean,
Who
I
knew you
guess.
could get that type of shade at
I
night.
mean, you know a lot. Maybe they can learn something from you.
Probably. I mean, when I look at someone like Miss Morgan, who's a very good shot, and I was shooting just about as good as she was, and all I've ever had is a classroom inside, and I imagine she's been out shooting things her whole life. I must be real good at things.
Oh yeah, you're just the top, like the 1% of the 1%.
Why, thank you, Miss Aria.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to them.
Well, Miss Gabby, would you like a ride over there?
Well, I don't want to disturb you. I don't want
It's
you
fine.
to.
I can walk.
Are you okay? Are
I'm
you
okay.
sure?
I don't want to leave you alone all by yourself. So
Oh no, she's
That
got
makes-
this 100%.
That makes one of you.
Oh, don't worry. Just call him down here. Hello.
Okay. So, in this moment, with those rolls, I would say that you are able to get, you're gonna learn what all this is later, but 6 red cenarium crystals. As well as, just because gold's a convenient price of measurement, 25 gold worth of red cenarium residue. All right. And with that, as Gabby calls out into the night, we will end for our night. So, those of you watching, thank you for joining us in our West adventure on the rock. And please join us next Sunday as we continue into the wilderness. Good night.